Hey, Facebook, WHGE 95.3 on the air. Get ready to get started with the open eye. Let me do my thing. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I get this Facebook Live thing on my own page. Where am I? Oh, come on now. Don't do this to me. We get ready to get them. We get ready to get them. We're going to start this theme music in just a second. Let me get on Facebook Live. Oh yeah, there it is. Come on, y'all. Let me share it on my page. Yeah, share it with everybody. All right, thumbs up from me on WHGE. All right, we need that theme music started because we here, we live. Oh yeah, I'm at work at COVID. Right. Here we go, y'all. Yeah, I'm over that. I might let this play out. I'll be messing with the PC. All right. Here we go. Y'all hear that theme music? Yeah, I wrote that. How you like that? All right, we ready to get started. Here we go. Listen. Good morning, my children of the sun. It's Saturday morning, 11 a.m. at WHGE 95.3. That means it's time for the open eye. I'm Patrice Gibbs, your third eye optometrist, here to get it started. Yes, indeed. Oh, we got something for you. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, in case you didn't know, yes, we are Facebook Live. Wait a minute, we got a little problem. Okay, from Wayne Jones. Thank you. Said the audio was kind of distorted. How's that, Wayne? All right. That's it. See, that's at Facebook Live. Wayne, right on the case. Thank you, brother. All right. Like I said, we are, as always, we got plenty for you. I know you've been waiting since noon last Saturday to get back to the open eye. Well, don't worry, baby. I got you. We are here. Like I said, I'm the third eye optometrist. I will be joined soon, I'm pretty sure, by my partner in consciousness, Nsoromma. I call him our intellectual surgeon because he be letting you know. He pick your brain apart. Oh, yeah, he bring it. That's word. Of course, like I always tell you, here on WHGE 95.3 FM, you do not have to wait until Saturday at 11 a.m. to get your WHGE 95.3 fix in. All right. Stick around because today at 1, we will have Dr. Tahichi, but I do it that schedule. Our brother from Africa with the Delaware African Coalition. That'll be today at 1 hour after I go off the air. I will give you some banging jazz music to enjoy until that time. And at 4 today, Ed Johnson Sports Zone My big brother Ed, always bringing it with the sports knowledge. And I'm going to go ahead and say it today, brother. Dr. Alan Lawrence, yes, indeed, because he's teaching you. That's why I call him Dr. Alan Lawrence with the Week in Review. Don't miss it. And as always, the daily show at 6, Black History Facts and Reflection with our illustrious leader, Harmon R. Carey, who has probably the only daily Black History show in the nation. Okay, like I said, we got a full schedule of programming for you. Now let me get right to it here. You know, sometimes I like to wax philosophically and give you some life lessons. Give me some rules of life. Make peace with your past, so it won't screw up the present. You know, you can't let the scars of your past fester and bleed on your present. What others think of you is really none of your damn business. You know, because people are always going to have an opinion about you, and if you get caught up in their opinion about you, you won't be able to deal with what you think of yourself, and that's what really matters. And sometimes things happen, you wonder how you're ever going to get through this. Let me tell you something, time heals almost everything. Just give it time. It will pass. The answers will come to you. Don't compare your life to others, and don't judge them. You have no idea what their journey is about. That's why I tell you, that's why I said the second thing I said, what others think of you is none of your business, because they have no idea what your journey has been about. Well, that counts for you too. And stop thinking too much. I'm not saying don't be thoughtful, but sometimes it's all right not to know the answers. They will come when you least expect it. No one is in charge of your happiness except you. No one. It is up to you. If you depend on somebody else for your happiness, you will never, ever be happy. Okay? And smile. Don't go around. Yeah, I see so many young brothers and sisters walking around with a scowl on their face. You know, that dictates your attitude. You know, you don't own all the problems of the world. You know, if you get caught up in that, you will never be able to find your peace and happiness. I'm Patrice Gibbs. This is the Open Eye. Well, oh, we're having more problems. Oh, there we go. I don't know what that was about. Let's see if we can get straight. Yeah. What's up? All right. But you know that, it's that and the other, we're having more problems here. For what? The board, for some reason, that line is out. Yeah, the line is jumping in and out. That's crazy as hell.
That's a good.
Oh, wires. I don't know what's going on here. Jeez Louise.
There you go.
It's the board.
Hit that one over there.
This here?
Yeah.
This is crazy too. There's no sound going to the computer.
Huh?
There's no sound going to the computer either.
I'm bored and never had no problem.
You know?
I be booby trapped in. Shit, it's going in there, ain't coming out.
Ain't coming out.
It's coming, it's going in, ain't coming out.
Ain't coming out.
Let me over there for a second. Listen, that. Where this is going to this.
Right.
Huh?
I think so.
This out. Yeah. It's going to this. It stopped going in and ain't nothing getting going in there.
Yeah.
Is that still playing?
Yeah. Yeah, that's still playing. Wait a minute, let me see. I think computer.
Well, we need to talk, because we talk.
Okay, no, it's not playing. Let's see. Let me try something quick.
Shit, it might be over here.
No, it's over here. Because when we fumbled with it, it went in and out.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's this.
Yeah, that's the board.
There it is.
Is it that?
This
That's what's fine.
is out return. That's what we probably got to do.
No, that's to my computer.
This is going to your computer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, damn, that's what you making that work.
Computer. Shit.
Oh, but it's going to be that.
Yeah. This is crazy. Somebody said that we was distorted. Okay.
See if it might work.
Hey.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. We are live. Sometimes in live radio, you get some technical difficulty. It's not thinking too much. I'm not saying this is crazy. This is just not there.
Let's see this. Technical difficulties.
Okay. Somebody coming through.
You good? It's still
Still something through.
live
On the live. Yeah, live to the chat. All right. Yeah. We are back on the open eye. My man Nsoromma. We had sometimes it happens in live radio. We had a little glitch in the system there. All right, but we're back on track. What's up, my brother?
That's right. What's happening, brother?
This, that, and the other thing. As always, we got plenty for you on the open eye. You know, since you came in, I know you're gonna have something to say. I gotta bring this up. Lizzo. Have you heard of Lizzo?
And I seen her with her crack out all over the TV.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, man. Why our sisters can't have a brain battle instead of a butt battle? Why you can't pick up a book and see who can read the book the smoothest without saying nothing?
That's right.
I mean, it's crazy how we degrade ourselves,
right?
And actually just feed into the things that they don't like about us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
don't feed the flame.
You know, and you know, here's the thing with Lizzo. Now I saw where she had made a video. Well, first of all, let me say this: what you were talking about with her, you know, with her ass out at the Lakers game, they played her song, which I ain't never heard. I think she's a one-hit wonder. They actually put this girl on the cover of Time magazine as Entertainer of the Year. Go figure that. Okay. Now, for those of you that don't know Lizzo, and I don't say this maliciously, Lizzo is an obese black woman. And, you know, she's playing this game that sometimes obese black women play, that she's comfortable in her own skin.
That's what they said about Monique. And then they made her lose weight, and now she looks skinny like this wire on this microphone right here.
Monique look good.
But she don't look like Monique. I don't like this Monique because it ain't the Monique I meant.
Okay, I can understand that. But the thing is, the obesity, and Monique wasn't nowhere near as big as this Lizzo girl. The obesity is not healthy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for Lizzo. And here's another thing with Lizzo. To me, Lizzo is a modern day Sarah Bartman. Now, Sarah Bartman was a South African black woman in the 1840s, 1850s, that some Europeans basically captured, damn near kidnapped, brought her to Europe, and made a spectacle of her, made a carnival sideshow of her. Not only did they make a carnival sideshow of her, because you see, Sarah Bartman was called the Venus Hottentot. Sarah Bartman had a extremely protruding posterior. Translation, she had a big ass. And they had never seen anything like that in Europe. And they made her a sideshow. Not only that, but they also forced her into prostitution. You know, and Sarah Bartman died young from venereal disease or something like that.
But within that, I mean, that was something she was forced to do.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. And that's different. They went and kidnapped her and brought her to a different place and, you know, made her do things that was, you know, unhumanly.
Yeah, that was inhuman.
So with
Lizzo,
it ain't only Lizzo, it's a bunch of, but Lizzo just happened to get caught on camera at the Lakers game in front of 60 million people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
degrading herself.
Right, degrading, and not herself, the black race.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what they're doing. I mean, especially the black woman. The black woman is a treasure.
Yeah, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I got something on that too.
Because of all the things that they're capable of doing. You know what I mean? But don't degrade yourself to where as though your booty getting paid more than your brain.
Yeah, exactly, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's where I'm at with it. You know?
Yes, indeed. Well, I'm gonna
messy.
I
mean,
right. And I'm gonna, you know, close this little section out with this.
Wow.
Our history shows that black woman has been the key to our survival in the oppressed African colony in America. Who possesses the eloquence to sufficiently express how important our Nubian queen is and has been to the black man in America? She is our mother, our primary nurturer, and the first teacher. She is our sister. She sacrificed her dignity, body, and soul to save us from the master's whip and noose. She is the most suitable woman for marriage, for who else can understand our frustrated, oppressed spirit and soothe our tattered soul? The Nubian queen is the field from which the black man must produce our future. It is for the aforementioned reason that we as black men should become incensed whenever we see our women not afforded the respect and dignity commensurate with her contribution to our survival as a people.
That's not the black woman today. That was the black woman years ago.
We still got them like
now
that.
It's been tainted, and now it's been tainted. You feel what I'm saying? They're not the same women. They are the same women, but they're not cut from the same cloth.
Right.
So
I understand what you're saying.
Okay. So when you saying and when you directing
that honor.
Right, that honor don't go to these girls.
No, to those that are very visible.
Right.
But we have so many black women
that's doing this.
That's doing this.
That's not being recognized.
That's being honored.
Right.
We're not seeing them enough.
Right. That's what we should be promoting. This one. Right. Not the Lizzo.
Not the Lizzo.
Not the Cardi B's.
No.
You understand? They're not our race. They're not pushing our race to be a better race.
No.
And it's not about you. It's not about your little check you get. It's not about how many followers you got.
No.
It's about humanity of the black person.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And like I said, the black woman that I call to be honored, our mothers, our sisters, those black women that have been great examples for our people. Unfortunately, like Nsoromma said, they're not visible enough.
Right.
You know, this is open eye. I hope we got our thing together here. Let's see.
That's the game. It's supposed to go up when you do that.
Yeah. Oh.
Keep going.
Yeah. Usually, you know, we have a little musical interlude, but we, like I said, we have some technical difficulties, so we're not gonna worry about that. We just gonna keep the conversation popping. You know, here's something to think about. It goes in line with what we've been talking about.
Right.
Why is Black Death so popular? Why is it cool for us to rap about killing each other? I get it. It's just entertainment, right? But if that's the case, why can't I rap about killing white people? Why can't I rap about killing Jews, cops, politicians, and be considered just entertainment? Are you kidding me? Some of y'all cringe just hearing me say that. But if that's just entertainment, why does it matter? Who made Black Death the cool thing to glorify in our music?
Media.
In our media, exactly. Who made it cool for us to celebrate our own destruction?
Media.
The propaganda. You know, we get these, you know, it's something, you know, we get these TV shows and movies and what have you, and we run around naming ourselves after gangsters. That used to be popular. Remember when that was popular? You know, calling ourselves Capone and Noriega and this, that, and the other, you know.
Everybody except ourselves.
Everybody except ourselves.
Right.
You know, and, you know, doing these things in our, like I said, in our music and our entertainment and what have you, you know, like we're supposed to take this entertainment to heart and what have you. Well, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro were adversaries in the movie Heat. When they left the movie set, they was boys. You know, you get on a video and, you know, badmouth some other rapper, you know, you miss the point. See, and it makes me miss the days when battle rap was understood that was battle rap, and that's all, and it didn't go beyond the mic.
Right.
You know,
it was only test of the brains, just like chess.
Right.
And, you know, you ain't gonna play chess and then get up and shoot the person for winning.
You know,
if you're playing a casual game and learning each other's moves or whatever, but the music industry is basically designed to. It was a survey, not to go off point, but it was a survey where it was a white guy. He was an AR rep. And what he would do is he would go around to these record labels, right? And as he go around to the record labels, he'd say, okay, I got a white group, a male group, a white female group, a black group, you know, so on and so on. So he's like, oh, this white group is good, you know, they singing Christmas songs and all of that. And they was like, nah, we don't need that. And then he said, oh, I got this other group, and they don't need that neither. And then he said, I got this gangster rap group, and and the record label said, are they talking killing? And he's like, yeah. He's like, we'll take it.
Well, ain't that a blip? I'm not surprised at all. Yeah.
And now,
because that's the
what's
game
being fed to to us.
And to our young people.
Yeah, to our young people.
That's right.
So it was like if the music ain't saying kill, kill, kill blacks, not whites.
Not whites, right?
Yeah, we're gonna run it. We're gonna play it all
We're
day.
gonna play it.
We're gonna
That's right.
spit it. This
That's
is what
right.
we want.
You know?
So this is to all the responsible
and we
artists.
Full circle.
The responsible artists that's hearing my voice, that's musicians and can make an impact on your kid's life and daycare. Stop playing the game.
Right. That's word.
Be the information center. Be the information hub.
Like we used to do.
Teach your kids. Teach your friends. You know what I'm saying? Do your music. Not kill your friends through your music. You know what I mean?
You know. I'm gonna come back a second, and then I'm gonna come back to battle rap in a second. Then I'm gonna bring it full circle. Now, I remember when LL was battling Kumo D. And he was battling, what's my man? I can't think of it.
LL battled everybody.
Yeah, he battled everybody.
That was what was going down. You had to go through the trenches.
Right.
You know, and
you know. Now when he and Kumo D battled, they had a series of records. Okay.
Right.
They kept releasing records. To me, behind the scene, LL and Kumo D said, "Yo, brother, you know what?
Let's get this.
Let's get this.
Yeah.
Let's get this battle going,
right?
So we can sell some records." And that's what they did.
Right.
That was smart.
If you notice, it was all verbal wordplay.
Right.
That's what the key was.
That's what
both of them was saying good things. Like
it was comedy. It was very intelligent.
Right.
You know, they were very seriously articulating.
Right. You see that they wasn't just freestyling. They went to a dictionary and a thesaurus, and they was picking out words that really meant, and you had to think about, and it was
what
making you teach. It was being taught. You know what I mean?
And the beautiful thing is, neither one of them took it personal.
Right.
You know,
Ice-T, he battled Ice-T.
Yeah, he battled Ice-T.
Because that's what you had to do. You had to show everybody that this is what I do too. You ain't better than me. I'm not saying I'm better than you, but I'm saying I do this too.
Word. And let me bring this full circle on the music. Music can be a very revolutionary force. It always has been. When you look at any revolutionary movement, there was music to go with it. Just like music can wake you up, it can put you to sleep.
Yeah.
When you come into a community, if you don't know the mental state of the people, all you have to do is listen to the popular tunes they play. That's a quote from Dr. Umar Johnson. From Louis Armstrong's Black and Blue in the late 20s to Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit in the 30s, Nina Simone's Mississippi Goddamn, y'all heard that right here.
That's the boy favorite spin right there.
Yeah, you know that. One of my others, James Brown, Said Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud in the late 60s. Marvin Gaye's What's Going On and Stevie Wonder's Living in the City in the 70s. Music has always had its consciousness, including the early days of hip hop. From Run DMC's It's Like That, through the apex of conscious rap as produced by Public Enemy. Then came NWA and gangster rap. Don't get it mixed. What most critics miss is that for the most part, gangster rap maintained a level of consciousness.
Right. Gangster rap was like PE. PE was conscious. The gangster rap came in. Everybody need warriors. So the warriors has to be. That's where the gangster raps came in.
Yeah, gangster rap was telling you what was going on.
Right. To me, gangster rap were the warriors. Then it flipped to something else after the warriors. You know what I'm saying?
Let me continue, because this is gonna speak to what you just said. Then corporate America got involved, and rappers could no longer get airplay like conscious rappers.
Right.
Like Nsoromma said, could no longer get airplay that informed and uplifted. Now the music airplay is about materialism, machismo, misogyny, and ignorance. Gangster rap became thug rap. This is neither a coincidence nor happenstance. This is a planned, purposeful process with an intended outcome.
Right.
It is no secret that young fans tend to emulate their favorite artists, and these artists have the power of influence.
Right.
I hate this. No, I don't hate to say this. I make no apologies for saying this. Piss on Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Nicki Minaj, Kanye West, Jay-Z, and the slave-acting white Beyonce. None of these people give a damn about the advancement of our community or people. Why is thug rap so popular? Because that's what's pushed, made available. And sex and violence sells.
And my thing is, why they take and go to Ghana and build schools and all of that when we need it here in America for our kids? And you know, I mean, the way that they got that their whole thing flipped is ridiculous. We're here. We need it now. We need it more than anybody outside of this country. We need it for ourselves. And they don't even look at ourselves, and they don't even look at your son and the lady's son down the street no more. They look all the way to Ghana and go, yo, I want to help somebody in Ghana instead of helping somebody on their neighborhood block. I mean, that's sickening to me.
And just to remind you, the Open Eye is brought to you by the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, the builders and founders of the Pearl Center, the veteran-specific home. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Oh, and just in case, you know, I play my disclaimer, but the views and opinions expressed on the Open Eye are those of the host and co-host of the Open Eye, and we do not reflect or hold any one of WHGE, our sponsors or supporters, responsible for what we express on the Open Eye. All right. Now, my brother, let me tell you something. You know, when we were talking about the music, one of the things I expressed about that, oh, what's up, brother Vaughn?
What's up, brother Vaughn? Brother Vaughn.
Is that these things did not happen. These were not coincidence or happenstance. Rest assured, there's a plan for Black people. Remember Hurricane Katrina hitting 2005? Black people were left to die and were outwardly murdered. Remember the people trying to get across the bridge? Yeah. The people that were shot by the cops in the helicopter. And all of that was shown blatantly on TV. Bodies floating in the waters, and those seeking help were treated like unwanted refugees in their own country, like they were from some foreign land. And this was broadcast uncensored. That was not happenstance, nor was it government incompetence. This was carefully planned. Control out of chaos. It was believed the reaction of Black people to the events of Hurricane Katrina would be unprecedented rioting and violence. This would give the government the opportunity to implement Plan Rex 84.
Rex 84?
Rex 84. Rex 84 is short for Readiness Exercise 84. That's when it was last updated, which is a classified scenario and drill developed by the United States federal government to detain large numbers of United States citizens, specifically Black people, that are deemed to be national security.
And Mexicans and Spanish, all they're Black. So
that's why it was updated to Rex 84. You know, in the event that the president declares a state of national emergency, the plan was first revealed in detail in a major daily newspaper by reporter Alfonso Chardy in July 1987 in the Miami Herald. Take notice that most Black communities nationwide are enveloped by interstate highways, giving the military easy access.
Messy.
Don't get it mixed. They got a plan for us.
Oh, most definitely. For them. It ain't even for us. It's for them. And it's taking us out of it. We're not part of it. You understand? So that's crazy. And I was like thinking too. You getting to the point of impeachment. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, you know, impeachment is
what is the punishment?
Okay, the punishment.
Let's talk about the punishment for impeachment.
That really is not commensurate with the crimes that have been committed. You know, impeachment is like an indictment. You know, you take it like a civilian court. You know, well, an impeachment is like the House of Representatives are like a grand jury. They go over the evidence and they say, okay, yeah, he needs to be indicted. He needs to be brought up on charges. Okay. Once that indictment happens, which it hasn't yet, it's just going through the Judicial Committee. So they're coming up for the vote for the impeachment now, which probably
I heard that vote went through yesterday at 10 o'clock, so he actually got impeached.
No, it went through the Judicial Committee.
It went through the Judicial
Committee of the House of Representatives. It's a process that they got to go through and this, that, and the other.
Obama was in there. You thought it was in the process?
Well, yeah. The rules are the rues, but the process wouldn't have taken this damn long.
I'm just throwing that.
The process wouldn't have taken this damn long. You know, they wanted to impeach him for wearing a tan suit.
I remember that.
You know,
And then other presidents wore the tan suit, the same tan suit.
That's the same one. But the rules are different for a black man.
But I'm saying, that's just how America looks at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it was tan suit gate. Like, Watergate and all these crises. It was tan suit gate. Yes, indeed. You know, now. I'm no Bill Clinton fan, but he got indicted for receiving oral sex from, Monica Lewinsky. And Monica Lewinsky said, well, look at the things that, Trump is doing. The dude committed treason straight up.
Right, treason. And that needs to be hung.
Yeah.
Straight like that.
But, big time. And
this
Monica said,
this is his kind of world.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, and Monica said that Monica Lewinsky said introduce her to Trump. She'll go ahead and do her thing and take one for the team. Maybe they'll go ahead and impeach this fool.
Monica.
At this point, the only reason to support the orange disaster is that he reflects your hateful heart. Okay, he shares your contempt people for your contempt for people of color. For black people, I don't usually say people of color, but Trump hates everybody that ain't white, so I'm going to go ahead and say it like that. Right. Your hostility toward outsiders, your toxic misogyny because he has no respect for women, your ignorant bigotry, and your feeling of white supremacy. Okay. America is a place where a black man has a greater chance of being arrested for going to Starbucks than a white man who commits treason in front of the whole damn world. True. Unbelievable, man.
True.
Yeah. And
most of the stuff we say on here, this show, Open Eye, is usually true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Always, because we do our research.
Right.
We ain't bringing you BS on here. We bringing you the real deal. That's right. And
some people can't take it.
Yeah.
Can't take the heat. Get out the kitchen.
Get out the kitchen.
Can't get out the kitchen. Get out the house.
That's hardcore, Nsoromma. Oh, y'all notice ain't no music because we just keeping it going.
Right.
Now, you know what? Here's the crazy thing: is these evangelicals that continue to support Trump. They claim all this. Holiness and morality and
love and we'll kill the N-word.
Yeah, but we'll kill the N-word, right. And it's all right that Trump, in
the name of Jesus.
And that's something.
That in itself, like, sends something through me. So it's like I don't know what kind of feeling that is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When
someone is that hypocritical? That hypocritical? They're gonna say in the name of God, in the name of their religion, that it's all right to hate, murder, and this is not new. This is not new. That's why I always tell you that as bad as you think slavery was, as bad as you think the Jim Crow days was, it was a lot worse. We talked about that before. Right. I mean, I know plenty of people have seen the photos of lynchings. And these people, what's put out now is that, this is a KKK thing. No. It was not a KKK thing. This was everyday white folks.
KKK wasn't invented then.
Well, it was. It came right after the Civil War. But the thing was, this was everyday white folks. These are people.
Do you know how KKK came about?
Yeah.
Tell me that.
Okay. After the Civil War.
Right.
Okay. And during the Reconstruction era, right after the Civil War, when blacks came into power in the South, it was a short 10 years, okay? Right. The whites in the South just couldn't take it.
Right.
And I forget the founder's name, the founder of the KKK, but what they did was they got together and they put on, you know, these white hoods like they were ghosts or something, because, you know, in their ignorance they thought that, you know, this is scare the hell out of these N-words, out of these darkies, because they scared the ghosts. So we're going to show up like we the ghosts of the Confederacy, and we're going to terrorize these black people. And that's where the KKK started, basically.
Well, I heard it came from the president made a call out because they didn't have enough military to control that scene. And what they did was said, every white person that want to be a sheriff, put a sheet on, and you are sheriff. What you call that? Deputized. You are deputized.
Right.
And when he did that, he said all these. They made the broadcast announcement across the world, and all these people
across the country.
I mean, across the country, and all these people ran in the house and put these and came out and just started doing their thing.
Okay. Well, here's the thing: Reconstruction, when blacks came into power after the Civil War, lasted for 10 years. Okay. At the time, the Republicans were the liberals of the country. Okay. And the Republicans in the North. Now, what happened was in 1876. The Republicans, there was a presidential election. That presidential election in 1876, I think it was Hayes, Rutherford B. Hayes versus Tilden, the Southern Democrat. Now, what the South, of course, wanted was the troops, because the troops were protecting the blacks in the South and their white allies.
Right.
So what the Democrats, the Southern white Democrats, wanted was the troops out so they could do their thing and, you know, go back to oppressing black people. But, you know, the Republicans, who had won the Civil War and had control over the troops, wouldn't pull them out. But then came the election of 1876. And what was it? Hayes won the what did they call it?
Anyway, though,
Hayes won the Electoral College. That's what it was. Hayes won the Electoral College, but Tilden won the popular vote. So what they did was they cut a deal. They let Hayes have the White House in exchange for pulling the troops out and giving power back to racist whites in the South.
Right.
And that's where, you know, the KKK stepped up and this, that, and the other. Then they really didn't have a need for the KKK because they had, you know, control of the government and this, that, and the other. Okay, so what they did was, you know, with that control, the KKK kind of died out for a little while. Right. Okay, until the late 1918. Let me see, when was it? Was a movie called Birth of a Nation, produced by D.W. Griffith. Okay, and
is it two of those? Was it a remake to that?
Well, yeah. Well, what's the brother's name that made the movie about Nat Turner?
And when
he called it Birth of a Nation.
When Birth of a Nation came out, the up-to-date one, they closed all the theaters. They said it wasn't. They said all the theaters were sold out.
You know, to sabotage that movie.
So they did all kind of stuff to sabotage that movie, and I was like, so people wouldn't really see and get it. Man,
they did all they could, right? But back to Nate Turner. I mean, back to D.W. Griffith's movie. It caused the resurgence of the KKK. Woodrow Wilson, one of the most racist white men to sit in the White House, who was president at the time, actually showed the movie at the White House. And this is what brought back the KKK strong in the 1920s. And from the 1920s up through the 1960s, the KKK was like in effect in the South, not only in the South, but in the Midwest and really throughout the country.
And that particular president was the first one to put the cross up and light the fire on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wilson was foaming at the mouth, rabid racist. Oh yeah, he couldn't stand black people. That's word, you know. Like I said, now, when I was talking about the photos, now here's the crazy thing is, their children are standing there watching this black man be lynched and burned and what have you, and then they cut body parts off.
Yeah, and
souvenirs.
Eat them. No, eat them.
Yeah, I was coming to that.
Yes.
You know, the prize parts were, after they were burned, were the liver, which was crispy cooked, and the heart.
And then say to the day, you ain't had no crispy N-word.
You know?
And they really literally mean it by eating and tasting your skin. Right. And they cannibals.
Yeah. And furthermore, right now, there's somebody's grandfather or descendant that has in their possession the souvenirs, the body parts of our people. And you think we don't deserve reparations? Y'all, in case you forgot where you at, if you didn't know, this is the Open Eye and Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma, WHGE 95.3 FM.
Yes,
Yeah.
You know, it's something the Orange Disasters supporters would have you believe, or even his critics would have you believe that what he's doing is unprecedented. But it's really not, okay? Because as conservatives have always been really bad for the country. I mean, from the beginning. You know, I don't care how you feel. I'm not one that's going to jump up and holler all this patriotism because, you know, if the soil of the land could speak, it would cough up my people's blood first before it could say a damn word. You know, but conservatives were against anything that would advance even white people. You know, for instance, they fought against women's suffrage. You know, they wanted to stay out of World War I and World War II. Of course, they lynched blacks regularly. Of course, they fought against segregation. They were the ones who put up the white-only signs. Of course, they fought against the Civil Rights Act. And they wanted to stay in Vietnam, which was killing many white people as it was killing many young white people, even though, you know, the black soldiers suffered more than anybody. You know, it's the conservatives that brought you homelessness and huge deficits and what have you. You know, I always wonder about this.
Right.
The world is said to be $1 trillion in debt. Who the hell does the world owe? Jupiter?
Nah, because you know that the government and the Federal Reserve are two separate businesses. So when the government needs money, they call the Federal Reserve, who in turn prints up fiat money, which is out of thin air. They go steal our wood from our trees and stuff like that, and then they come and press this paper fiat and then give it to the government. And, and we were really in trillions of debt to the Federal Reserve. You know, most of the money is to the Federal Reserve owed. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
And that's 5 bankers that live here in America.
You know, that's crazy.
You know,
that's crazy. You know, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, you know, and a few other families that, you know, we can't even name. Who control our economy and our lives on, you know, on an economic level that we as people. And look, here's the thing. This is why I always say that, you know, those poor whites who think that one day they're going to be in the upper echelons of white society with the white elites and what have you, understand something. They hate you as much as they hate us. You're chicken voting for Colonel Sanders against your own interests. You know, but that's just, you know, something that y'all don't understand. Yeah, it's just something, you know, y'all just don't understand. That's weird. Now, something else is going on. You heard what happened with Gabriel Union.
Yeah, got kicked off the show.
Yeah. You know, and Gabriel Union celebrates her blackness. And for that, for that, she is being punished. And one of the main things that you have to look at is her hair. Listen, to corporations and government entities, any of those that employ or have to deal with black women in the business world, stop policing black women's hair. How long we've had what? New York, the state of New York, California, and there may be a few other places where they actually had to pass laws to stop corporations, employers, and others from discriminating against black women over their hair. That is the craziest that I've ever heard. You would think by now we would get past that. But this is something that's always going on in our country. The policing of black women's hair.
The policing of black people, period.
Yeah, well, I'm saying one of the biggest pressures of anybody that anybody suffers is black women's hair. Black women are the only people that are punished for the way their hair grows naturally out their head. Only people that are punished for that. If a black woman shows up, and it's something, this is crazy. I heard Dr. DeGrasse say this. She stopped getting perms and this, that, and the other. And her friends have said to her, almost with some level of shock and worry, "Girl, you going natural? Going natural?" So this is how messed up our minds are from the oppression. Okay, it's shocking to see a black woman wearing her hair the way it naturally
natural.
And
it's naturally supposed to be like that.
It's naturally supposed to be like that. But you going natural. That is like I said, that is the craziest mess I've
Girl,
heard.
you going against the grain of these white people?
Yeah, that's word. How many black women? I've seen several throughout the country. Black women reporters, weather reporters, meteorologists, as they call them, the correct term, anchors and what have you, who started wearing their hair natural, okay, and got fired off the air. They caught so much flack from the white viewers that they actually got fired off the air. That's just like unbelievable, man. That just, but like I said, different states have actually had to implement laws. Here we are, 2019, the end of 2019, 2020, 20 years into the 21st century. We're still dealing with black first, and still dealing with laws having to be passed for us to just try to live normally in the society.
Right. Now, that's another thing that sent that thing through me that I tell you about.
Yeah.
That I don't know the name of them. It's a chill. It's a blend, chill and anger mixed together.
I heard that.
I don't get it, man.
Yeah, and we deal with so many of these things. Education. Now, what does school really teach children? Let me tell you what school really teaches them. The school teaches that truth comes from authority. The orange disaster is in authority. Do you think that this lying fool is telling anybody the truth about a damn thing?
They had counted how many lies that he did tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was in the thousands.
It was 1,650 something lies.
In how long?
4 months, I think.
Jeez Louise. That means every time your mouth lie over, lies come out. Damn. School teachers.
Nah, hold up. Before you get there,
okay,
I wanted to tell you. They said if the boy get impeached, they trying to start a civil war.
Oh yeah. Oh, most definitely. This is what his supporters are saying. Okay.
Now listen. I'm like, they're gonna start a civil war because they trying to impeach him to get him out of there for messing up America, and you want to start a civil war, right? This is right. And this is the people we're dealing with. So if we don't get ourselves together and get Black united and start handling our own business, we won't have nothing to fight with.
I heard that. Yeah,
you got people coming at you with guns and you still got sticks and little rocks that you're throwing. No, that's not going to work.
I'm telling you, brother. I'm telling you, you know. And like you said, you know, you got these, you know, the weapons that you have comparatively are pea shooters when the military has tanks, planes, and guns that can shoot around the corner in the dark.
It ain't even the military. White people are going out getting AKAs and these high pressure guns and putting them in their homes.
Oh yeah, but like I said, up against the military, because the military is not going to back these, you know, Confederate idiots, you know, Confederate resurgents who want to have a civil war against the country. It's just not gonna happen. They're gonna get annihilated. You know. Anyway, school teaches children that intelligence is the ability to remember and repeat. No, intelligence is the ability to think. Accurate memory and repetition are rewarded. Non-compliance is punished, and severely so amongst Black and brown students. Non-compliance is punished. To conform is intellectually and socially acceptable. When you know you toe the line and you stay within the box, then you know you're celebrated for that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but this is Open Eye. We are coming around to the close of the show here. We got about 5 more minutes. You know, as I said, that's one of the reasons that we have to look at educating our own. I really celebrate those Black families that homeschool their children, because what they're doing is they're preparing them and giving them a truth that they are not going to get, you know, in public school.
Did you hear about the lady got arrested for teaching her kids at home?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. You know, but she fought it. She fought it, and now that tells you why that needs to be done. Is they're going to arrest us for homeschooling our children. That means they consider it something dangerous going on. Oh, something else. I was kind of looking through notes for this, and I know I got it here. Mercedes-Benz.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They are being sued for discrimination for overcharging Black customers.
Listen, they just did that to me Thursday. I took my car in. I said, yo, I hear some noise coming from the right side of my car, down the bottom. He calls me back. Mr. Show, it's the left side, and it's the shock, and it causes a rattle to go over to the right side, and it sounds like it's coming from the right side, but it's not. I'm like, fix my car. I understand you calling me to tell me what's going on, but okay, if that's it, fine, fix my car. The right side rattle will stop, fix it. All right, boom, get my car back. The right side rattle's still there.
Yeah, that's something.
and they talking about, oh, that's normal.
The rattle that you went in for.
The rattle I went in for to begin
is normal.
Is normal.
That's crazy.
But yet they fixed something totally different. Charge me $3,000.
Jeez Louise.
And then I get my car, it's not fixed.
You know?
The police had to get ready to come get me.
Gee, I heard that, bro.
You heard me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I
hear you. You know?
But that's what they want. Irate Black person in there snapping.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So they can say, oh well, look at him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I gotta do what I tell people, what I preach to people. I just put the lawsuit in and join in with this Mercedes-Benz lawsuit.
Right.
All of this is what y'all do.
Right.
And hey,
and that's it exactly, because obviously this is normal practice throughout the company with these Mercedes dealers.
Right. All the dealers.
Yeah. Now this lawsuit is actually being brought from a former sales manager.
Right.
Who is now suing the business for racial discrimination. The lawsuit against his former employer and alleges he was fired in retaliation for complaining about the owner's repeated use of the N-word, okay, and including boasting about systematically overcharging African-American customers for vehicles and referring to it as N-word scalping. Right. This is what they do.
We can't cut their head off for real. We can't stop them for real. Let's stop their pockets.
That's it. That's it. You know, this is the open eye.
Nsoromma in the building.
I'm Patrice Gibbs. Let me ask you, tell you why we do what we do. Some of you may have heard me say this before, but you learn by repetition sometimes. What do you know? Ignorance is indeed bliss. Really, think about it. If you didn't know what you know, you wouldn't be in the mess you're in. If you hadn't finished school, you wouldn't have the type of job you had or had. You wouldn't have to worry about the axe falling on you and whatever corporation is downsizing its human resources this week. You wouldn't have to worry about mortgages, rent, car payments, or any bills. Pretty much do what you want, because if you're ignorant, it's okay to be too irresponsible to do what you need to do. Don't worry about what people think. No one expects anything else from your ignorant ass. Ever wonder exactly what is meant by the statement "a little knowledge is dangerous"? Does it speak to the idea of giving that man a halfway decent education and he'll change the world? Or does it refer to not having the full picture, acting irresponsibly after acquiring limited knowledge? Actually, the statement can be applied to both situations. Take the former. Two prime examples would be Frederick Douglass and Malcolm X, both self-educated men who rose to be amongst our most brilliant orators and have a profound effect on society. Now take the latter. Man has learned to split the atom. What has he done with this knowledge? Man built devices capable of destroying the world as we know it. This is obviously acting irresponsibly after acquiring limited knowledge. Limited because he didn't learn enough. He didn't have the sense enough not to build something that could destroy himself. Knowledge is not something to be saved, stashed away, or hoarded by a select few. It is to be shared, passed on, and passed down. Knowledge and wisdom bring purpose and morality. If we continue to allow knowledge and wisdom to be held by a few and die with our elders, because when an elder dies, a library burns down, we will lose our morality, sense of purpose, and our civility. We will become no more than instinctual animals. If you catch a fish every day and never go hungry because you know how to fish, but your brother goes hungry because he doesn't know how to fish, and you don't teach him, you're not being responsible with your knowledge. Clear, isn't it? Knowledge carries responsibility. If I didn't know this, I wouldn't be on the radio with Nsoromma. Sometimes I wish I could enjoy the blissful laziness that is ignorance, but I've learned a few things. So I have to try to act responsible with the little knowledge I've gained.
True.
What do you know? People really want to make a difference in the world, and the people who really want to make a difference in the world usually do in one way or another. You know, they get excited over one smile. They're willing to feed one stomach, educate one mind, treat one wound, and they are determined to revolutionize the world, not all at once, but to make small changes over time. Though those small changes add up. Sometimes they even transfer cities, nations, and yes, the world. This is the Open High. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma.
And like I always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority, and treat you as an option.
Yeah.
Right here on WHGE 95.3 FM. Thanks for joining us, Facebook Live. We'll see you on the next one. Open eye.
Yo,
Yo.
we the most controversial